Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. I'm very sorry that my AC is on today because I didn't put it on early and I just can't turn it off right now because it's too hot. So I apologize for the background noise. My project today, I think it's a really cute one. I had some scraps laying on my desk and I just happened to see that I could put this pumpkin right on the little hamster from the Hearts and Hugs bundle. Alright, so I'm using the Hearts and Hugs bundle along with the Playful Ghosts. I'm using this 2 pieces of this image for the pumpkin, and I'm also using the Perennial Postage dies. The box itself measures 3 by 2 1/4 by 1 1/4, and inside I thought candy corn would be the perfect little snack for inside this box. So I'm using a mix of DSPs this time. This is from my stash from a place that closed a few years ago, so you won't be able to get it, but it's pretty basic, orange on black. So if you have anything similar, it would be good. It's actually different from this one because I only had a little bit of this and I thought I had more. Alright, and this piece is actually from the Be Happy Designer Series paper. So if you still have that, but I'm sure everybody, all of us have scraps. I'm pretty disappointed in Stampin' Up for not giving us a Halloween DSP this year. It's very sad. Alright, so we need a piece of pumpkin pie that is 7 1/2 by 6 1/4. This rectangle is 2 3/8 by 1 1/2. And that's the Perennial Postage dies, and I also cut a piece of pumpkin pie for behind it that is 2 1/2 by 1 3/4. And then these DSPs, we need 2 that are 2 by 2 3/4, 2 that are 2 3/4 by 1, that's these, and 2 that are 1 by 2. So that will all be on my blog. Alright, let me get my Simply Scored. This is my host code. Please put that in for any purchases under $150, not including your shipping and your tax. Alright, so we're going to start on the 7 1/2 inch side. Score at 1/2, 2 3/4, 4, and 6 1/4. Turn it to the 6 1/4 inch side and score at 1 1/4, 4 1/4, and 5 1/2. Alright, now I'm going to fold and burnish my score line. Okay, so we have our 1/2 inch rectangle over here. There's a 1 1/4 inch strip here and here, and 3/4 at the top. And this is what we're going to be doing. Okay, so we're going to start over down here, go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge up. Okay, go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the first score line, and then wedge both sides of the square. Go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge. So that's the bottom. Okay, now our 1/2 inch rectangle is over here, and go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the rectangle, and wedge the square. Okay, go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the second score line. Take off that rectangle and wedge the square. Okay, now we're going to take these 4 pieces off. And wedge up into that 1/2 inch rectangle. Alright, now we just need our corner rounder, and we're going to round the corners of this top flap. All right, and that's what your cardstock should look like when you're done. All right, now I'm going to put tear and tape on what's left of that 1/2-inch rectangle next to the score line. I'll take that backing off. Okay, flip it over, and then I'm going to attach the sides together. Okay, the part with the seam is our back, so put the tabs in and then do the back first. And that's your box. All right, now we need our DSP. So of course these are going to go on the front and the back, long sides and short sides. Okay. There is many reasons why I love Stampin' Up, and I just, now that I didn't have paper, I love the fact that I don't have to scramble to find matching paper, because I really had to dig in my craft area here to figure out what was going to match. So that is a great thing about Stampin' Up, that they usually make enough, they make their DSP that matches the colors, it matches the stamp set. So I'll be grateful from now on when I get matching DSP. All right, now let's let this dry for a bit, and we're going to do our stamping. So we need some basic white, and I'm using tuxedo black, and I'm going to do the chipmunk from Hearts and Hugs. And oops, I need this, and the ghost with the in the pumpkin from Playful Ghosts. And then I'm going to cut this out with the die, and this one I'm going to just fussy cut the bottom and the top of the pumpkin, and sorry to the ghost this time. Okay, now we have our images here. For the chipmunk, I'm only using light and dark pecan pie, and we really don't have to do a lot of coloring. With the dark, I'm going to take and go under this chin, especially because you can see a little bit of it, and it's nice to have a little bit of a different color. And I'm going to go right here and just a little bit at the top of his cheeks, so that I can kind of differentiate. Okay, then I'm going to take the light floaty flamingo, and I'm going to do his nose and the inside of his ears. And then the rest I'm going to color in with light pecan pie. You don't really have to worry about this middle area because the pumpkin covers it. Okay. Alright, and then for the pumpkin, I'm using light and dark pumpkin pie and dark daffodil delight. I'm going to do the inside of the eye and the smile with the dark daffodil delight. And for the bottom, like the flesh of the pumpkin, I'm going to do the light pumpkin pie. And I also forgot a light old olive for the stem. Okay, and then the rest I'm going to do with dark pumpkin pie. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to get my silicone mat. Alright, and then I'm going to put some glue right on this belly part that I didn't color. gonna put the pumpkin right over that. Kind of, he could be holding a pumpkin, but I'm looking at it as he's in a pumpkin costume. My daughter had a pumpkin costume like this just when she was little. I think all my kids wore it, actually. When you sew one thing, you make it last, you know. Alright, we'll let that dry a second, and I'll bring in these two rectangles. The pumpkin pie one is 2.5 by 1 3/4, and this is the Perennial Postage die, and it's about 2 3/8 by 1.5, and I'm just going to attach these together. It just needed a little background on it. Okay, and now I'm going to flip over my chipmunk, and I'm going to put some dimensionals on him. And then I'm going to put him right in the middle. Alright, now here's our box, and I'm going to get dimensionals on there. I'm going to put him right on the top. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of the iridescent striped ribbon, and I'm going to tie a small bow, small as I can. Okay, and maybe a little smaller. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue and a glue dot. And I'm just going to place it right up here next to his head. I'm going to try to tuck the little pieces of bow behind the pumpkin top and his hand. And there we go. I just love it. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe, that helps me a lot. Even if you can't buy from me, that really helps my channel. And all of the info is below. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.